Hey guys, welcome back to Home Built, and today we are continuing with the paint job on John Lemon. Okay, so last week I got the primer on the whole car, and this week it's time to start putting some colour on the car, but before I can do that I have to sand back the primer. The best way to do that is to put a guide coat over the car, which if any of you have seen my videos before or know what that is, but it's basically just a dust coat of black or any contrasting colour paint. Once you sand the black off and any bits where there's still black spots, you know, okay, well, you still need to sand more. And while I'm there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to spray the black also in here and give my coat of black solidly under here to start with. So first thing first, guide coat and black, and then we can start sanding. All right, guide coat's done, the black's done on the inside, so now I'm going to go over the whole car. I'm just going to go over it with the 600 grit on the orbital. I know you guys love it as much as I do, so let's start sanding. Yay! Okay, so the sanding the sides is done, and I'm going to first paint the sides of the car, which is going to be white. It's still going to be a two-tone car, and these lower sections are going to be white. I started sanding the roof, and then I realized, why am I doing that? Because it's more than likely going to get a bit of overspray on there, and I'm going to have to sand it back again later anyway. So my first step is to just paint these lower parts of the car in the white, and that means a little bit of masking, but get it back in the booth now and actually start putting some colour on the car, which should be great. Like, I love how quick this car goes. Compared to the Datsun, it's so quick. So let's put it back in there and get it ready to paint. So we're all masked up now for the two-tone. This bottom half is going an off-white colour, so let's go mix some paint. So the car's in the booth now, it's all cleaned up, it's ready to go, so it's time to mix up my colour. And the colour I am actually using on the bottom is it's a Volkswagen colour. It is Pastel Blanco. It's a creamy white colour. It's sort of the Volkswagen white. It's not super white, but it's white enough. So anyway, I'm going to mix this up now. This is a 2-to-1 solid colour. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways to paint 2-pack. Basically, anything that's got metallic or pearl in it is generally sprayed on as a base coat. There's no hardener in it. It's just the paint with a bit of thinners in it, a bit of reducer, and you paint the colour on. That's a base coat, and then you put a 2-pack clear over the top, which comes in 2 parts. It's the clear and it's the hardener, and it sets. Now, with a solid colour, so no metallic, no pearls, just a flat colour, you can do it in a solid, which is what I'm doing on the Beetle. So what this is this is the solid white colour, and then I actually put hardener into the colour. So it's only one stage sort of thing. It's pretty simple. So now it's time to mix this up, and this is mixed up as a 2-to-1. So 2 parts colour, 1 part hardener. And I'm going to mix this up now, and then we can wet the floor down in there and get some paint on this car. So as you can see, I'm dressed in my monkey suit, and basically everything is to try and keep dust down, because dust is the enemy of these paint jobs. So that's why I've gone through, I've wet the floor down. I have, that's why I built this booth with good inlet filters and extraction filters. So I try and keep the dust levels as low as possible. And now it's time to actually put this paint that I mixed up onto the car. And I've been looking forward to this because as some of you might have seen, the guys from iWater were good enough to give me a new primer gun, which I used, and I've really been loving using. It's been such a great gun to use. They actually, at the same time, they actually gave me a color gun. So again, I've always used just sort of cheap generic guns, so this would be really nice to actually use a nice new spray gun. But this is it. This is it here. Yes, very nice iWater spray gun. Classic Plus, what is it, the W400 Lite. So this has got a nice small tip on it, and I'm going to give it a go now and see what I think. But it looks a lot nicer and cleaner than everything I've used before, so it should be nice. So I'm going to put this together, put some paint in the gun, and get some paint on this car. Alright, that paint is looking really good. That gun is really nice to use. That was only a quick little spray job, so I haven't really been able to give it its full legs yet, but I'm quite happy with how it's coming up so far. I've got a couple of little runs in it because it's me. And there's a little bit of orange peel in it. Basically, I had the paint a little bit too thick. I didn't add quite enough thinness to it, but it covered really well after just 2 coats. And obviously at least 3 coats anyway, but the 3rd coat for good coverage, and it's beautiful everywhere. So happy with that. Boot's still going, making lots of noise in the background, but now it's time to move on to the other parts of the car that I need to get ready to paint next week. So for starters here, this rear hatch, I have to strip it down, get the number plate off, get the hatches off, and I'm not going to put a badge back on it again. I could take this off and paint it black again or something, but I think it looks better debadged. So I know there's holes under here, so first thing is get this off and patch up the holes. All those body panels are now prepped, ready for next week. I just give them a light scuff and we can hit them with some primer. In any case, let's go into the booth and have a look at how this paint has come out. No! No! Ah, there's runs. It's nice and shiny, but yeah, I went too heavy there. I knew there was a couple of little runs, but I didn't see those ones. Well, hopefully I can chop them out, but I don't know if we can get a good angle here, but you can sort of see there's a bit of orange peel, but it's nice and shiny, and yeah, I can shave those runs out and give it a bit of a buff, and it should be okay. This here again, bit of orange peel, but it's definitely nice and glossy, definitely not too dry. I think I just went a little bit thick on the paint. I should have thinned it down a little bit more to get a better finish. Again here, panel's looking very nice. It's flattened out quite well. Tiny little run here, but nothing too drastic. I don't know if how well the camera's picking that up, but overall it is looking quite nice. All right, well, besides those couple of runs, I'm pretty happy with how that all came together. The The colour is now on the side of the car, or at least on the shell. I know I've still got more colours, primer to do on the other parts. The painting, it takes a little bit of time, but should come together nicely. Hopefully next week I can actually flip this around and mask up the bits that I painted already today, and then paint the rest of the colour on the top of the car, so we can actually get the proper colour of the car going on. In any case, John Lemon is getting there. It's coming together, but I'm out of time for today, so that means it's time for Fun Facts with Mrs. Jeff.
Hey guys, 1960 saw the Australian Volkswagen factory produce all of its own body panels for the Beetles. It also saw the introduction of the first fully automatic paint shop using baked enamels, and Holden and Ford would not upgrade to the Volkswagen baked enamel style until the 1990s. That same year, 4 Volkswagens were entered into the first Armstrong 500 held at Phillip Island. Fortunately, the best they could get though was a 5th place in their class. 1960 would be the Beetle's best-selling year in Australia ever, with over 24,000 sold. The 1200 Beetle was second best-selling after the FB Holden. As a manufacturer, it was only 6,000 vehicles behind Ford, who sold a much wider range of models.
All right, I'm quite happy with the progress today, besides my runs, which is pretty much expected because it is me painting this thing. So it's looking good, and hopefully next week we can actually get the real colour on there. I mean, everybody knew it was going to be
Long time.
Everybody knew it was going to be a two-tone.
Oh.
Not like so. It is two-tone. It is white, and the top colour will come out tomorrow. People have asked. It's not really a big secret, but I'm painting it beet blue, which is a factory Volkswagen colour, but quite rare from what I've seen. In any case. That's it for another week.
Yep, please like and subscribe, and don't forget about
merch and stuff in the description.
You help us out.
Deal. All right, guys.
We'll see you later.
See you next time.
Holden and Ford would not upgrade. Upgrade, that's a combination of upgrade and bait. That makes no sense. To the FB Ford. Oh no! Oh, Holden in sales in Australia.